Let's just start on chapter 1, shall we? Dustin clicked his Walkman off and turned from the night sky and black treetops to the cabin interior. The patchy, age-darkened floorboards looked like flooring from a much larger room had been squashed into this one. Peeling white paint marked the kitchen and bathroom corners of a single-room structure. In one corner stood an iron stove surrounded by metal plating. On a desk sat an IBM personal computer, brand new on the market, impressively enough, which he'd yet to sit down and have a go at his training videos. A corkboard above the computer desk was stuffed with pictures and paragraphs on various cryptids that were reported around the surrounding area, if you'd believe such a thing. Clearly someone had. Through one door was a balcony, and through the other, a steel handrail followed the only staircase down into perfect darkness of the woods. He occasionally heard the odd creak or knock from below, which had barely bothered him at first, what with the age of the tower. As the days passed, however, the sounds began to bring in late-night images of some horrible thing making its way up to him, one step at a time. With a chill, he turned back outside. The book on tape Carol had given him was vaguely helpful in times like these, but the nasal voice of Professor Svoboda was starting to grate on him. The fact that Carol had pushed him into this job in the first place, coupled with the irony of her providing him with a self-help book with which to do so, kept coming back in pangs. The tower had seemed quaint and rustic when he'd arrived 5 days before, but already he could not stand the sight of the place. Unfortunately, that was the only sight he had when nightfall came, that or the interminable blackness surrounding the elevated stronghold. His official job title was Fire Watchman, but he was generally called Tower 2 on account of his tower being the second and four positioned around the Elkwood National Park. He wasn't just looking for fires, of course, but anything from poachers to drunks to gangs of kids causing trouble. Though yes, most of these were usually indicated by some kind of fire. He'd seen nothing on the first night. The only light coming from the woods was from Selena Matthews, the bubbly young scientist who was out there researching something, some kind of bug. He hadn't taken in much of what she said, focusing more on the little inflections her voice had when she got excited or tried to be condescending. Still, they had a decent rapport, and he couldn't fault the company. It had been a tough adjustment, going from the station to the tower, especially in terms of companionship. Dustin thought back to his crew before spitting over the balcony edge and going back inside. He imagined Carol was with him, or rather, that he was with her, cosy and alone in their two-bedroom detached. The chill got warmer. He thought of her reassuring voice telling him to just try it out, you've done harder work.